Welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. Ottawa, so happy to have you with us today. We have a great show ahead. We're going to be talking about the River Oak Skating Trail on the show today. And on that topic, by the way, I'm going to share some great outdoor activities in the final segment of the show for you to get together with friends and family. Also, Michael Birch, he is the co-chair of the $10 million Answering the Call campaign by the Pearly Health Foundation. We're going to give you all the details on that, but we start with one of our own here at Rogers TV, because the third season of Paula Roy's Favorite Foods kicks off on February the 6th, and Paula Roy herself joining us on the show. Paula, congratulations on season number 3, first of all.
Thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, let's talk about your show and what can people expect from season 3 this year.
Well, just like in the previous seasons, there are 3 recipes on each episode, and they're usually united under a theme. So it might be meals in a bowl or lunch ideas, no big desserts, that sort of thing. And I also sprinkle in as many hints and tips as I can so that people can find their time in the kitchen to be more successful, maybe a bit more fun, a little bit easier.
Yeah, and the other thing I find for this season, Paula, from everything that I've seen, is a real emphasis on vegetables and a real emphasis on family friendly. Why that in particular?
Well, that's very perceptive of you. And I have to say it's because that's the question I get most often is I know how to cook a chicken breast. I know how to grill a steak, but I don't know what to serve with it. So I realize that it's those side dishes that people want a lot of help with. And they also want to find a way to make vegetables more appealing so that they can obviously get their kids to eat more of them and even to get the kids more involved in food prep.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some of the wonderful footage here, and obviously something you're going to concentrate on because we all need to indulge every now and then. I am sure Paula will have some sweet treats available.
Absolutely. And all the recipes from the show are on my website, Constantly Cooking. There's actually about almost 1,000 recipes there now. So if someone can only watch part of a show, they can just go to the website and find the recipe and have fun making it at home.
Well, it's the new year, so a lot of people, when they make New Year's resolutions, or maybe they're just making some different lifestyle choices, they think about changing the way that they eat. And we mentioned off the top is that you're putting an emphasis on vegetables, and you're gonna share a recipe with us today. What have you got for us today?
That's right. So this is a protein-packed salad, really simple, and it's the kind of thing where you could assemble it and bring it to the table, or you could set it up like a little salad bar for your family so people could pick and choose the components they like. And that's a really good strategy for kids. When my kids were younger, I would say, there'd be a salad station with maybe 8 elements, and I'd say, you got to pick at least 4. And that way they would pick what they wanted, and they were very happy with it, and they kind of felt, I hate to use an overused word, but empowered about their food choices. And this salad lends itself well to that. So what I've got here is some baby spinach, and I have also roasted some beets and pears in my handy dandy air fryer. I do talk a little bit about some of the popular cooking tools on my show. This happens to be one that I am a big fan of, but you can also roast these in the oven perfectly easily. You could even fry them in a pan if you didn't have an oven handy. And to the roasted vegetables, I'm going to add a really simple balsamic vinaigrette. All the ingredients are right here. I've just used, as I mentioned, some olive oil, Dijon, little maple syrup, salt and pepper. So very simple. And the advantage of dressing the vegetables is that then it kind of percolates down to the spinach without making the spinach too soggy. Right. So a couple of tablespoons on our roasted veggies. And of course, beets and pears are super easy to find at this time of year in the winter. They last really well all winter. They're not really, really expensive, very colorful, and incredibly nutritious. So I'm going to sprinkle these over the spinach. And it just smells so good. I'm getting the really great aromas right now from the beets and pears. Nice. They're kind of at room temperature because I don't want them to wilt the spinach.
I was going to ask you about dressing, Paula, because for a lot of people, they may not realize that those dressings, the pre-made things that they're buying in store, they often contain a lot of sugars and things like that. Do you normally make most of your dressings homemade?
99% of them. And in fact, there's a lot of dressings on this season of the show because I'll use it to perk up some plain boiled potatoes, for example, instead of loading them up with butter, you can make a really simple vinaigrette for a lot of purposes. And then just to finish our salad, so this looks great already, but I'm going to add some toasted walnuts.
Nice.
And the hint and tip that goes with this, I mentioned the show always has hints and tips, is that instead of trying to toast your nuts in a frying pan, which can be a 3-alarm emergency, even in my house sometimes they burn so fast,
Yeah,
you can toast
they
them
do.
in the microwave in sort of 20-second bursts. It's perfect. And then we're going to sprinkle some goat cheese on here. You could use feta. You could use even grated mozzarella or parm if that's what your family prefers. And now we have this gorgeous, nutritious salad ready to go. So that's just a great example of the kinds of recipes I like to show on Paula Roy's Favorite Foods.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, Paula, because I think a lot of people get intimidated, they get overwhelmed when it comes to many of these food shows where there's just so many ingredients involved. When it comes to the recipes that you share, are they mainly for the most part a lot of items that you'd already find in your pantry?
Absolutely, and consciously so. I don't want people to have to go and buy 10 jars of things that they're going to use a teaspoon of. So I really do try to stick to familiar ingredients, but maybe present them in a different way or work with them in a different way.
Paula, remind everybody at home where they can find all of your recipes.
So the recipes are on constantlycooking.com, and the new show premieres, the new season of Paula Roy's Favorite Foods premieres on Rogers TV Ottawa on February 6th at 8 p.m.
And that is a Sunday, by the way, everybody. Sunday, February the 6th at 8 p.m. Paula, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on season 3. And I know throughout the entire season, we're going to be catching up with you. So looking forward to our next chat.
Thanks so much.
All right, take care. Hey, coming up after the break, we're going to tell you about the the River Oak Skating Trail. I just went to the pub there for a moment, which you could probably stop by afterwards. River Oak Skating Trail coming up right after this.